Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy. Think that it...
Boom, we're live. Excuse me. I have no idea what's going on here with StreamYard. It won't allow me to turn my camera sideways. More settings, camera. Huh. Well, whatever. I guess I'll do it like this. It's going to be a little weird, but that's all right. We'll see how this goes. Sorry. Oh, South Georgia Hotshot stopped by. What's up, man? How are you? It was nice running into you last week in Pennsylvania. Justin Axford's in the house. What up, brother? Cents per mile, Don, Edward. I don't get why my camera won't turn for me. It's starting to frustrate me. Anyways, Friday morning, I guess I can put my tripod away. Friday morning, and I'm out here out on the East Coast. Man, and it's kind of tight out here. Rates are not what they were a week ago, which kind of sucks. I took one in the pants yesterday. I have a load that picks up this afternoon that is a customer load. So that's my priority, right? Anybody that watches my channel knows that I run a lot of dedicated customer freight or direct shipper freight. I don't play on the spot market very much. The spot market for me is when I get to an area and I have a couple of days before I need to pick up a customer load. Well, then I find spot market loads. And usually I have no problem doing that. But yesterday turned out to be pretty tough. And I'm also the type of guy, I'd be interested to know what you guys do. I don't wait till the last minute to book freight. I don't even wait till like day of. I book all my freight in advance. I think sometimes I leave money on the table doing it that way, but I also never sit. Like I'm never sitting for a day because I can't find a load. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's better. But anyways, I'm at a receiver right now. Trailer's in the dock. You disconnect from it and park in their bobtail lot. But anyways, man, like this was like 245-mile load. I had a 45-mile deadhead, so you figure all in, I'm probably like 300 some miles. And I'll tell you what, man, the broker I spoke to, it took me like 25 minutes to get the rate that I got on this dry. It's a dry load. And it's not a lot. I mean, well, screw it, $650. Or actually $640 to go, like I said, 300 miles. A little bit more than that, I think. I think it ended up being like 315. But it gets me to right where my customer is, where I pick up my customer load today. It's not my customer, but I'm picking up for the customer. And it puts me very close to that pickup. So cents per miles in the or you're in Virginia. Dude, it's nice. I was in North Carolina yesterday and it was like 85 degrees out. Crazy. I mean, where I'm from in Minnesota, it's already cold. You know what I mean? It was really hot yesterday. I actually ran into a subscriber, which was pretty cool. Seven Seas Transport. It was really nice meeting you. Yeah. We're in if you don't mind sharing cents per mile, where in Virginia are you? I'm on the eastern part of Virginia. I'm kind of over by like Norfolk. Cattle Holland's in the house. What up, brother? How are you? It's been a minute. Paul Harris is in the house. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. especially South Georgia Hotshot. Thanks for thanks for stopping by. I did fanboy out. Anybody that doesn't watch South Georgia Hotshot, go and watch his video that he posted the other day with DIY going live and doing a spoiler on the Kenworth. But I actually fanboyed out, that's weird to say because I'm a 43-year-old guy. You know what I mean? But I saw his truck at the truck stop, and DIY and I were both at the truck stop, and I was like, dude, that's South Georgia Hotshot. But he had his windows covered with that covering he uses, windshield cover, whatever the hell it's called. So I didn't want to bother him or anything like that. And then I happened to see him the next day washing his windshield. So I started talking to him, and it was actually a pretty cool conversation. He's got a super cool computer that I'm going to buy. It's the exact same price as what my membership is for my OTR performance tool. And this computer that he has it looks like it can do more than what my OTR performance tool can do. So I think I'm going to give it a shot and try it. Yeah, Justin says, I go where the boss tells me to go. I ain't got no boss to tell me. Well, that's not true. I do have a boss, I guess. But let's call a spade, Justin. You and I, for all you that don't know, Justin is somebody that I speak to on the phone and talk to quite a bit, and he actually helped me find this load because he is in this area a little, more often than I am. So he helped me find this load. Paul Harris says, I'm in New Jersey picking up a short load, and the APU didn't start last night and kept the battery, or APU didn't start last night and keep the batteries up. That sucks, Paul. That sucks. I'm very curious to see how the Mac APU does. I sold the Mac, for all you that don't know. Did a purchase deal, like the same thing DIY Semi did for me when I started the owner operator process. I did the same thing for another contractor. Sorry, it's my buddy. He flew home for a couple of days, and the Thermo King has a setting, like an auxiliary setting. So if the batteries get low, it'll turn on. So I'm hoping it works for him because he's leaving the truck for a few days. Funnel liner in the 83 degrees. Surprise. Yeah, dude. It was so hot out. You're in Roanoke. Okay. Yeah, it was so hot out here the last couple of days. I'm just not used to it. That's what it is. Trucker Tim's in the house. What's the name of that computer? Man, I forget the name of it. Avent? No, that's not right. Go check out Trucker Tim. Go check out South Georgia Hotshot. It is in his description. I did some research online about the computer. Now, I will say this. He was kind enough to hook it up to DIY Semi's truck and my truck. DIY's truck was, I think it's like a 2020 Cascadia, and we couldn't get it to work. But I think, to be honest, I think it's operator error. Like, I don't see why it wouldn't work. The computer comes with all the jacks for all the different types of trucks, so I don't know why it wouldn't work. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was operator error, but do some research on it. But we hooked it up. He was kind enough to hook it up to my truck too, and it worked. Now, I drive an International, so my truck is not integrated. So we had to go into the settings, the engine settings for Cummins, and then it worked fine. But yeah, the computer is freaking crazy. Well, just go watch his channel, man. Like, the guy did shit with it, with his injectors and all kinds of stuff. But the little bit that I got to play with it, it was pretty cool. And I actually had a fault code that I knew about. It's when my truck was towed and they did not disconnect the driveline, which could have really screwed this truck up. Thank God it didn't. But it was able to clear that code. But yeah, go check out. So not that, I mean, he's much bigger than me. I mean, but if you don't know who he is, go check out his channel. In his descriptions of his videos. Oh, there he said, and Encel, is that how you say it? Go check that computer thing out. It's pretty damn cool. And he's got a code. Like I said, it's the same. I think it's $600. He's got a code. Use that code and you get a discount. But it's the same. That computer that he has is the same cost as my membership for the OTR performance tool. So I'm going to swap and go to that. Tim the Trucker says, well, I know it works for a Mac. I guess I shouldn't say Anthem, but South Georgia Hotshot had a Mac. I had a Mac, but his computer, that computer system, go watch a couple of his older, probably like a week old videos, where he used that computer on his Mac, MP8 motor. But yeah, go check that out. Trucker Tim says, I got a new Mac. OTR won't clear break codes. I do follow him. Okay, well, check that computer out. So I have the OTR performance tool that doesn't just do regens, it does everything. Like I can clear all kinds of codes. But what I liked about this computer is it actually said everything about my engine, the torque, Cummins torque. It said all kinds of cool things. Like it was, I mean, I gotta assume it's pretty high tech, to be honest. And I don't even really promote the OTR performance tool. And I've had it for 2 years and it's saved my butt a few times. But this computer that he's got seems pretty cool. And it's, a $600 investment. If it keeps you off the hook one time, that's money well spent for sure. Oh, it's not in the description of all of his videos. Okay. I know. I asked him when I ran into him, by the way, super nice guy, super nice guy. I went to his channel and watched like the video that I had watched that morning, and it was in that description. But yeah, check out that computer. It's pretty damn cool. Jackknife TV's in the house. What up, brother? Real quick, this is funny just because he's in here. Hopefully he still is. But like you watch people on YouTube, right? And it's weird because you don't know them. You know what I mean? You don't know these people. You're not friends with these people. Even if you are like communicating in the comment section, you're really not friends with these people. And the thing is, like, you kind of get hooked on watching certain channels, or at least I do. So like his dogs, right? Meeting his dogs, like Fat Butts is hilarious. She just comes, I'm assuming it's, I don't even know if your dogs are male or female, to be honest. But just coming, he opened the door and he just came and stood and looked, and the other one's on the seat just wiggling. Like it's funny because I've brought my dog in the truck with me a couple of times, and I always think it would be awesome to have a dog with me. I just can't take care of myself half the time. I have a hard time taking care of myself most of the time. I don't know if I could take care of a dog. But anyways, getting back to what I was kind of talking about, like, you've never heard me complain about brokers. You know what I mean? You've never heard me complain. Like, I am an optimist, 100%, to a fault sometimes. But it's kind of shitty out. Like, I'm starting to see that. Like I said, I pre-book all my freight. So I already booked a load for November 17th. That brings me to Pennsylvania. The problem is I deliver on the 20th in Pennsylvania, and I want to be home for Thanksgiving. And I can't find any freight that gets me back to the Midwest. I found 2 loads, and the highest paying load I saw was like $1,350. That's like $1,000. I mean, it's like $1.30 a mile. It's kind of scary. Can't change speed of truck with. Well, I don't know if you can. with that Ansel computer. I'm wonder if I'm saying that right. I doubt it. I doubt it. I wouldn't want to change the speeds. Like, I don't know if it goes into that depth where you can start changing the horsepower and stuff like that. But I will say this, like, if you said you follow him, he did work with his injectors on it. That the OTR performance tool can't do that. Both female, okay. I'm not sure, Tim, it does so much. I just haven't played. But yeah, that's the thing, man. And that's the thing too, South Georgia Hotshot. I think it was operator error, and I'm not blaming you on that. I even tried to do it to DIY semi. You know what I mean? I think that if we actually read the instructions and had the right thing, if you remember, we plugged in the international and it didn't read my truck right away. Like I was saying, my truck's not integrated. So my truck has two sides. Anytime I hook a computer up to this truck, I have to determine, am I trying to do engine stuff or electrical stuff? Because all the electrical components and crap like that is international side. Anything with the transmission or motor is Cummins. But yeah, I think for once in 3 years, I'm at the point where I do believe it's like survival mode. Um, I haven't said that. I watch people. I mean, I watch. He was in here a little bit ago too. Jackknife TV. Jackknife TV's talked about this for a while, and I wouldn't say I ignored it. I just it. A lot of things don't pertain to me, and that sounds like egotistical or whatever, but I am protected because of the freight that I'm able to haul. But the problem is if I only haul like an outbound load, then I have to use the spot market, which is why it's intended to get me back to my home base, my home area. And it's not good, to the point where even this load I'm on right now, the only reason I took it was I knew where it was going and it's a pretty quick unload. Two, it gets me within 30 miles of where I'm picking up for my customer this afternoon. And I wanted to put a little bit of revenue in a day. You know what I mean? Even if I'm only making 30 cents for the day and the mileage or whatever, right? Like, and I don't believe in that. Like, we should always try and get the most that we can get, which I think I did for what works for me. There was some reefer freight that was paying better, but the time frame just didn't work out for me. Because my customer load is why I'm out here. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I really think it's time to, man, I hope you all have like saved some money. And I'm not being rude. Cause I'm right there with you, man. Like, when the market was on fire, I talked to a guy a couple of weeks ago about this. We had different, when the market right after, what happened, some people took time off. Some people went on vacation, which you're entitled to do these things, okay? Like, 100%. I'm not knocking you for doing things. I worked. Like, when freight was on fire, I worked my ass off and saved a ton of money. The problem was once the market changed, which is funny, it really changed when I got back from, I went on like a 2-week vacation to South Padre Island, and the market just went away and fuel went through the roof. But I spent so much money on maintenance on the Mac last year that fund that I was so like felt safe got depleted. And I don't feel as safe as I did even a year ago. And that's scary. That doesn't mean I can't afford my bills. I can afford everything. I just like, I would, if I spend $10,000, I would like to try and save $10,000. And I'm in a market that's really not allowing me to do that. Um, at the rate that I wish it was, put it that way. Um, Insight, Michael? Did I say that right? I'm not sure, Tim. Okay. Oh, no problem, Seven Seas Transport. I gave you a shout out earlier when I ran into you yesterday. It was really nice meeting you. For all you that don't know, Seven Seas Transport's been a very loyal subscriber for shoot, I think since right around the time I started this channel. And you know, you've seen him and me go back and forth in comments or on lives about hood trucks versus plastic truck mafia. Um, I saw his hood truck yesterday. Very, very nice truck. Very, very nice truck. Um, much more style. If we're trucking on style point, Seven Seas Transport, yeah, you win. Um, but yeah, it was nice running into him, and that's the cool thing about YouTube, about trucking, is there's so many different types of trucking. Just like South Georgia Hotshot, he does step deck. Seeing his load on the trailer, he was hauling like this, it looked almost like an old ambulance. I mean, newer ambulance looking truck, or work truck, and then this, I don't even know what the hell that thing was, but how he loaded it, how he had to strap it down, him and his wife. And then I ran into Seven Seas yesterday. He hauls containers. It's just cool seeing all the different types of trucking that is available to us. I mean, cents per mile's running RGN. I've seen him out on the road. You know, it's cool to see that. Well, good for you. Sorry, cents per mile says I'm still pulling 7,000 to 9,000 weeks back to back on the spot. Good for you, man. I'm right around 6 to 8 with what I do. This week will be let's see when I get done. So my week, well, let's do Monday to Sunday, right? So yeah, it'll be like it'll just be under $8,000 with one spot market load. Um and I can live on I can live on that. No problem. It's just I wish I could save it quicker, you know. Not all of us can drive lime green Peterbilts and live out our dreams, you know what I mean? Just screwing with you. That's the other thing, cents per mile. Why don't you have your son contact me and I'll teach him about economics? The only reason I say that is that Halloween picture, freaking awesome. If you guys haven't, go check out Cents Per Miles community page. He converted it, looked like a lawnmower or something into a Peterbilt. It was super cool, super cool. Um, Hollywood says, "What up, reefer guy? Early morning start. Been missing for a minute, but I know your grind is on. Be safe." Yeah, I took basically the whole month of October off. I ran, I think, 5 or 6 loads in the month of October. I only put down like 4,200 miles. I went on a couple short vacations, one with the wife, one by myself. And then I went fishing a couple of times, and I just wanted to spend time at home. I had some stuff I had to take care of, and that's why I do what I do. I've thought about this long and hard because I have another buddy who wants to get back into being an owner operator. And you know what? He's got a company job where he's making like 80 cents a mile plus benefits. Um, he is very qualified in just about every, I mean, he's got his hazmat. He's a qualified driver. And he's been driving. Man, if I say this wrong, I apologize. I don't see you in the chat right now, but I think he's been driving about 5 or 6 years. Um, he's making 80 cents a mile, and he's like, man, I want to get back into being an owner operator. And it's like, why? Like if somebody was to pay me 80 cents a mile with benefits, 401k, insurance, like health insurance, disability, all that, because there's months I don't make 80 cents a mile. I mean, there's months I haven't made a penny. I owe people money. Um, I don't know. I don't know, like, if I would make the leap again, you know. And I don't want to talk people out of this. Just make sure you're protected. Like, make sure you're protected. Whether you have a lot of money, or you have access to money, you have access to credit, which I'm not saying you should live on credit, but you should be able to have access to credit. Talk to these guys that got new trucks. Talk to me. I'll tell you. Now, I bought this truck before the interest rates went through the roof. I talked to another guy last week that just got a truck. His interest rate's quite a bit higher than mine, and the guy's got good credit. You know what I mean? So just try your best to protect yourself. Jackknife TV says, I got a call to swap loads. Yeah, my Boston loves truck ride. Oh, your little Boston Terrier. That's right. I forgot you had that. I remember seeing them black and white, right? I remember seeing them. Seven Seas Transport says, I can pull containers on step deck. Yeah, you can do a lot with that style of trailer, I'm sure. I've never operated a step deck. I've done flatbed work, end dump, side dump, oversized. That was roof trusses and crap like that. Heavy haul trash, so 125,000 pounds. Kind of what Just Trucking's doing. If you guys watch Just Trucking, I did that. I worked for the largest company in heavy haul trash in the country. It was great money. We got paid very, very handsomely. Problem was it destroyed equipment. Like, driving in those landfills and transfer sites, some of them can be very destructive to equipment. Jerome Jones is in the house. What up, brother? How are you? Tanker in cold months. Yeah, that's what you were saying last night. You were hauling a propane tanker. I'm kind of cold right now, guys. I know, super entertaining watching a fat trucker put his sweatshirt on. Hold on a second. All right, sorry. Justin says, I'm not putting it up on the screen, guys. I apologize. It's my camera will fall. I don't know why StreamYard doesn't let you turn the camera anymore. The market is tough right now. The faster we can adjust to achieve the same goal, the better off the situation at hand will be. Staying out longer sucks, but has helped me maintain the financial vision. Justin, I agree with you, man. 100%. It's hard getting back into that type of work ethic. I know Jackknife TV talked about a couple of weeks ago on one of his videos, like he was just out working, like putting down miles because he gets paid a mileage pay. He was just putting down miles. And that's what we have to do too. And here's the thing. Like, I just want to make sure that if I have major breakdowns that I can cover them. You know what I mean? Without dipping into like any of like the reserves that I have set up for my future. If that makes sense. Oh, it was a John Deere Kids Gator ATV Power Wheels thing. Yeah, that was freaking cool. Cents per mile, that picture. I think I just gave you a thumbs up. I was gonna comment like, send them my way and I'll teach them economics. We'll take that boxy looking hood, we'll make it aerodynamic, and we'll teach them about money. I hope you know I'm messing with you. You're obviously doing something right now, cents per mile. Bought yourself a nice truck. You're dolling it up the way you want it. You know, I remember talking to you a while ago. from what I know, you're gonna have almost like a working show truck, which good for you, man. I mean, it's not for me, but that's not to say it's not for you. You know what I mean? And that's something I've learned over YouTube and over my time on YouTube. We do what works for us, right? Like some of us make decisions that other people might not agree with, but that's your decision to make. You know, I mean, that's just life too. You know, Jackknife TV says, I actually net $6,300 last week, 6 days work week, but then I got sick and didn't work for 4 days. Yeah. And see, Jackknife, that's what's tough. When you take time off or you're not able to work, like that revenue is just gone. Like you have good weeks and then all of a sudden, I mean, I just did it. I just did it. I got 2 paychecks where one paycheck I owed for fuel. The second paycheck was like $200. You know what I mean? But that was my choice. I chose, and down we go. This ain't gonna freaking work, son of a biscuit. I lost where I am now. This sucks. I gotta figure this out. I should have just set up the computer and, anyways. But yeah, Jackknife, I get it, and that's what's tough. We have a good week. Remember back in the day where like if you took 4 days off, you could still gross $5,000-6,000. You know, that's not where we're at today. You know, um, Trucker Tim says I have a new Mac and making it by the skin of my ASS. Wish I bought used. I'm a dumb ASS. Hey, Trucker Tim, don't beat yourself up. Here's the thing, guys. And this is where like the optimistic thought process comes in. Adversity is good. Adversity sucks. Nobody likes to feel the pinch of payments, even mortgages and things like that. I was talking to, well, screw it. I was talking to South Georgia Hotshot, and we were both talking about like how our truck payments are more than our mortgages. You know what I mean? And it's like those payments suck. You know, I made a business decision to purchase this truck because of fuel economy. I still think it was the right decision to make. Um, but yeah, it sucks, man. But what I was getting at is adversity. Anytime we deal with adversity, we learn from it. We learn what to do better and what to not do next time. And if you have to give up right now and do something different, like it's not a failure. Like that's the thing. So many of us think that if we park our trucks or if we lose something that it's a failure. It's not a failure. We deal with adversity and we do the best we can, and we look at the positives that come from the adversity. I know that dealing with the market I'm dealing with now, because it will change. Like it might get worse, but it will eventually get better, and there might be less competition on the road. That's a whole nother topic to get into someday, but I'll probably be labeled something if I spoke my mind. um but yeah, don't beat yourself up too bad, Trucker Tim. You know, Grade A Transportation's in the house. What up, man? I was gonna text you. Now that I know you're awake, I'll give you a call as soon as this is done. I started driving at like 2 this morning, and I didn't want to wake you up. Um, yeah, see, Jackknife's telling you the same thing. You know, I don't live by the skin of my teeth, or like the skin of my ASS. I'm okay. It's just the realization of volume is there, at least for what I do. The volume is there. It's just such a diminished value in that volume that it is kind of scary, to where you might have to take a load that I'd be interested. I don't know if he's still in here or whatever. Jackknife, people that are owner operators, people, all of us, you know, not every load is a home run, you know? Not every load gets you a net of $1 a mile. That's just not reality. It's never been that way. But when you take a load, like I said, if I made 30 cents driving the 4 hours it took me to get to where I am right now, I had a choice. I could have deadheaded 4.5 hours or taken something that covers all my expenses and puts a little bit of money, like enough to get a burger from the Country Pride. You know what I mean? Um, I don't want to operate that way. Um, but sometimes that's what you have to do. You know, it requires decision making. Pigtails in the house. Been a while. Haven't seen you around. Hope everything's good. Got me laughing. Not a paycheck, LOL. Sediment. They're two completely. Yes, you know what I'm getting at though, Jackknife. Um, my settlements. Which here's the funny thing. I didn't look at settlements until about like 6 months ago. Um, DIY would make comments to me, or I would ask them, "Hey, let's say I bought tires or something. Like, let's say that he bought tires and just took it out of my settlement, right? Because I was on the road, showed up to his house, and we put the tires on, and I went back on the road. I would ask him like, "Hey, did you take like do I owe you for the tires?" "No, I took it out of your settlement." "Didn't you look?" "No." Like I I mean if somebody wanted to take a like if he wanted to like take advantage of me, he easily could cuz I was really bad at it. Oh, I hit something. "Oh, it's your last truck. I'm 61." "Man, how much longer are you going to do this?" 61. Tell me about more about South Georgia Hot Shot. It's definitely a failure. People have failures. I don't agree with that. Well, failure isn't a bad thing. I mean, we're taught to think failures are a bad thing. You get an F on a homework assignment. You failed. Well, that's not a bad thing because you learn what you did wrong. Um, if you lose in a sporting event like hockey or you make a bad play, it's not a failure. You might have you I get the meaning of it, but you learn from it. Unless you just blow everything up, then it's a failure. Like if you've mortgaged everything and you lose absolutely everything and at no point did you think you should hit the brakes on something, well, yeah, I guess you call that a failure. Cash, you're such a dick. Yes. Net is what I have left over after all my expenses. My gross is what I generate. So I have, you can look at it two ways. You have the gross to the truck and you have the gross to the contractor. My truck can gross X amount of dollars. As the contractor, my gross is 90% of that. And then my net is everything that is left over after my expenses. Apparently everybody out here thinks everybody's hand should be held and everybody, well, I I don't think you should hold people's hand. Listen, we're grown adults. Like, you know, we can do what we want. You just have to accept stuff for what it is. If you make a mistake or you do something wrong, like you have to hold yourself accountable for it. Funny, hopefully Cash isn't going to share this in like his live. He shared something with me yesterday about a guy that was asking him where door like 60 was, right? And Cash is looking at him like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like right now, I'm looking at door 710 and door 711. To the right, the numbers go up. To the left, the numbers go down. And Cash was just like, you got like the guy couldn't even understand number sequences. That's our competition. Somebody that asked another trucker, hey, where's door 60? Well, the guy is looking at door 64 and he doesn't know number sequences. Uh, how do you compete with that? I, you know, how do you compete with that? That's that's more scary to me than dealing with trying to deal with a broker to get a better rate on a load. Um, that's the problem. Brokers are hoping everyone will look at all loads that way. Yeah, I mean, I can see that, but like I said, I had a decision to make. I could deadhead, which I would have been fine. I mean, dude, I'm deadheaded from Chicago home. That was a longer deadhead than what this would have been. Um, but I also, like I said, I wanted to put something on the trailer. I didn't want to make nothing yesterday, even though, because here's the other thing, I'm running all recap. So I only had 5 hours to work yesterday. So I looked at it like this: I can generate in 4 hours $640 and shut down. At midnight, I get 10 and a half hours back, plus the, hour and 45 that I didn't use, or hour and a half, however many it was, because I'm trying to get back more hours too, which you can make the argument I could have sat yesterday, which I could have. I just don't like doing that. Like, I think, yeah, I don't like sitting. I don't like waiting. Sometimes you book loads to keep bills paid. Well, see, Hollywood, that's what I was getting at. Like, I didn't book that load to pay any bills. Like, I wanted to continue to add to the gross revenue for the week. That's what I really wanted to do. Um, because in the end, the gross revenue, like Cash was just telling me to explain, whatever the truck generates, I get 90% of that. The more the truck generates, obviously, the more my gross pay is, and then that helps me, save more money. You know, so nope, just like today, the phone call to change my load, I might decide just to help Tyson out, even though it's going to cost me $200, hoping that maybe it gives me some brownie points. That's such a big company to try and get brownie points with. I, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I know that you're staying busy though. I watched your video the other day. So that's at least good. Um Cash, I kind of disagree with you, man. Cash, failure is definitely a bad thing. I That statement I don't agree with, because I've failed at a lot of things in life that I've learned from. If I learn from a failure, I can't, like, do I wish I would have failed at it? No. But I learned from it to where I will never fail at it again. You can't word salad your way to everything being happy and good. Sure, I can. I'm doing it right now. Bad things happen. It's part of life. It will grow. It will get, yeah, it will get up. You move on. Hold on. Bad things happen. It's part of life. It will get up. You move on. Oh, you will get up and move on. I'm assuming you will say, yeah, but you learn from that, Cash. I mean, some of the things I've done in my life have had serious negative consequences, failures, and I've learned from it. Jesus. Take the phone. Now I lost comments. Oh, there we go. Gary Bates, Joliet, Illinois. What did I miss? Jackknife TV. I told them, you know what really helped out? I missed my North Carolina to Joliet, Indiana, back over to Pottsville load. Oh, you missed out on that load from North Carolina to Joliet and then Indiana back over to Pottsville. Where do you deliver in Pottsville? Wigman's? My eye won't stop watering. Cash is King put a link out there. Here's a link to directory on Amazon. Okay. Selling something, Cash? Boo in a bag. Cheap freight hauler. Okay. Why don't you just plan to fail? Failure is bad. That's why. I know what you're saying, Cash. I know what now you got me thinking. Skip down a couple of these. Failure is a bad part. Learning it and not repeating it, it would be a good part. It's two different things in my opinion. Yeah, I can see your opinion too, Cash. I just know for me, like, so how I learn, right? This is how, gosh, I quit this. This is how I learn, Cash. I can't like read a book and learn. I am a visual and hands-on learner, right? So that means a lot of times, like in school or even like I failed. I didn't score enough points on a test or an exam or an essay to pass. But I learned skills by realizing how I learn to work in my favor, to when I read something, try and see if I can do it. And if I can do it, then I learn. Um, so the failure aspect, yeah, it sucked, but I learned how to be successful in school. I learned how to be successful in certain things. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't want to admit failure is bad, but because there's opportunity for growth in failure. There's opportunity to change things. I don't know. I am word sallying the shit out of this. Oh, I found this channel because Salt Georgia Hotshot. Yeah, that was. Is that how you found DIY too? Oh, cool. Hey, they're pulling out my trailer. Spotter's backing up to the trailer right now. So I am gonna go hook up and get on to my next pickup. Hope everybody has a great day. Cash, we'll continue this discussion. Thank you everybody for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Until next time, you know what it is. Oh, keep on trucking.